another layer of funk rhythm guitar technique based on using simple chord substitutions. By simple chord substitution, I'm talking about thinking of all chords in a given sequence as falling into one of three possible categories: major, minor or dominant. I go into this idea in detail in the From Blues to Jazz course, but for the purposes of this little lesson we can simplify things even further, because the funk blues that we're working with has nothing but minor chord types in it. So our simple chord sub principle says we can replace any of the chord types listed here by any of the other chord types listed here. Don't worry if you're not yet familiar with all these different minor chord types. I'll show you a really simple approach to work with more than enough of them to make this idea effective. So, homing in on the A minor 7th chord to start with, using this basic E string rooted shape, I want to show you 7 variations which simply depend on where we add the pinkie. We get A minor 7th if we simply leave the pinkie off, or A minor if I place the pinkie back there on the 4th string. And that of course gives us our standard E minor shaped bar chord. Shift the pinkie up a string to the G string and we get a nice A minor 11th chord. From there, push it up a fret and this gives us an A minor sharp 11. Now that's quite a strong sounding altered chord, but it can sound quite nice as a passing chord. Shift the pinkie up to the 2nd string at the 7th fret and we get a nice A minor 6th. And a fret higher on the same string gives us an alternative voicing of A minor 7th. Across to the top string now, and by adding the note at the 7th fret we get A minor 9th. And then finally push it up another fret higher and we get yet another voicing of A minor 7th. Now you don't have to try and remember all those different chord names to be able to make good use of this. Simply spend a bit of time trying out those different fingering combinations using a 16-beat rhythmic feel and get your ear used to the different sounds they make. Here are a few examples to help get you going. Try a similar process to the A string rooted chord shapes that we use for the D minor 7th and E minor 7th chords. So again, I start out just by using the pinkie to change to chord shapes that my ears tell me sound like good substitutes. In this case there really are only 4 options that are easy on the ear. the D minor chord, adding our little finger back in there on the G string to make the A minor shaped bar chord, D minor 13th, which is opening the G string back to the bar, but adding the top string with the pinky at fret 7. Or I can use my ring finger here to hold both those strings down, the 3rd and 4th strings, and that gives us a D minor 6. Very similar. And the higher voicing of D minor 7th that you get with the pinky here at the 8th fret. With discretion, you may be able to work in the 7 sus4 and 7 sus2 chords that you get by adding the pinky on the B string, or lifting the pinky off altogether and taking that back down to where the 2nd string's barred at the 5th fret there. That's the sus2 chord. And there's a perfectly legitimate minor 11th chord from simply barring straight across without adding any extra fingers. This idea may remind you of the Doobie Brothers. Okay, so let's have a look now at how I might use all these ideas against the backing track. For the sake of clarity, I'm going to play against the simple backing track with just the bass, drums and main riff on. But I have included a few other variations of the backing track together with this video for you to experiment with. Notice how I keep my right hand moving to the 16-beat rhythm, just choosing 1 or 2 of the beats each bar to punch the chords in. This economy is an important part of the art of funk rhythm guitar. It's very easy to overdo it. If you found this little video interesting, please click on the like button if there is one, or leave a comment. And do feel free to share the video with your friends. And if you'd like to gain access to all our guitar teaching materials, please visit the Secret Guitar Teacher site and take a free look round at what's available there. See you again soon.